Welcome to Dare, the show for startup leaders, innovators, and entrepreneurs who dare to shape the future. Dare is brought to you by the Oregon Entrepreneurs Network, OEN, and Darwaf, the superpower tech team that can make your vision a reality. The Dare podcast is excited to welcome Elsy Dinvil to the show. She's the owner and founder of Creole Me Up, the first and only Haitian food processing company in the Pacific Northwest. She's been in business since 2017. She specializes in producing Haitian and Haitian-inspired sauces and condiments. She has an amazing story as a startup founder, as someone who has been in the depths of despair and has come out to the heights of triumph. So welcome, Elsy.
Thank you so much. Great, so great to be here with you to talk about my journey in the food world.
Yeah, well, it's so great to have you on the show. I have had one of your sauces, and
Really?
yes, and it was so delicious. The sassy and pink, I think it
Sassy
was.
and fake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we live in a small world.
Let you tell your story. How did you come to start your business?
2007.
Okay.
I started being sick on and off. That goes on for a good 5 years.
Oh, that's a terrible experience.
Yes, but my medical doctor never thought about running food allergy testing on me
Mm-hmm.
until one day at the end of the rope, I didn't have insurance. I didn't have health insurance. I was paying out of pocket for my little jobs. And I contacted the naturopathic doctor, and then they were able to get me in,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't take insurance. And the little bit of money I had, I showed up. It was $75 per consultation. And then first thing he did a food allergy testing on me. And all the foods that I was in love with were the food killing me.
Oh my
I
God.
wasn't, yeah.
Terrible.
I love my French bread, French baguette, and I made them from scratch. And
Mm-hmm.
the gluten, my body reacted bad to it.
Ah.
I love soy, everything, tofu, soy milk, soy cracker. And then that was one of my biggest allergic food that I was allergic with. And then what he did after a 2 hour consultation, he removed the soy from my diet. He removed sugar. I couldn't have any processed sugar. And he removed a bunch of grains like corn and bullet, any gluten-based grains. He removed them from my diet. And then not even 2 weeks later, from something I've been suffering for 5, 7 years, he my I stopped suffering in about 2 weeks with that doctor.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yes, but at that time I was still pooping blood, and then he was like, "Did they do that test on you?" And I need to study to remember that test. And then I'm like, "I've done a lot of testing over the 5 years, but I don't remember this one." He said, "Okay, you need to go back to your gastroenterologist. They need to do that test."
Mm.
When I went back to the gastroenterologist, he said, "Oh my gosh, I don't know why I didn't think about this test. Let's do it." He did it, and exactly that's where my issue is, the spot in my colon that I was suffering with. But at
Wow.
this time, it was too late. I remember at that time I was still finishing my undergrad.
Mm-hmm.
And he say, "Do you want to take any anesthesia?" I'm like, "Nope, I have school tonight, and I cannot miss it." So he did what he needed to do, and I was the images are still in my head. I was looking the inside of me basically falling apart.
Oh,
That was the test. And
yeah.
he's like, "We need to have surgery right away." And I had surgery right away. And after I got here, after my surgery, I was kind of convalescent for a year, that I couldn't work a full-time job, that I couldn't
Yeah.
sit too long, that I couldn't do that I couldn't do this. And then during that year, being broke from all these medical expenses, I'm like, I am going to start creating foods that supports people's health instead of hurting their bodies. And that was when I started playing with the idea of food and food products, wholesome food products that can support somebody's health, but with potent flavors. If you've had my sauce,
Well,
it's like a slap
yeah,
in the face. All my product,
yeah.
all my
So all your
products
products
is
are like a slap in the face. So you
yeah,
wanted to create healthy food that you could eat that would also still have flavor. Because as we all
yes.
know, sometimes healthy food can be super bland, like cardboard.
Oh, super blend, super blend. And then not only super blend, it's like my food though. I let the customers play with them. I try not to put people in a box with what they can do with the creation. But the blend food, it's like sometimes you add so much to them, and at the end, it's too spicy, too salty, too this, too that. But mine, you can add it to your blend foods, my products, to give
Yeah.
them some life. I
So
started. Mhm,
so I need to back up a second though.
yeah.
You had this idea what you were going to make, but you have some skill in making it. I gotta say, your stuff is delicious. So how did you come to have that skill? Was it your family?
In Haiti, if you are a girl, you don't have a choice. You have to be in the kitchen with your mom, with your
Okay.
aunt, with your cousins, cooking. So, from the time I could remember on Sunday mornings, I have to get up like 4 or 5 in the morning to help my mom pound on the spices and to for in order for her to marinate the chicken. If we didn't have meat during the week, on Sundays, my mom always butchered the chicken, and my role was to pound on the spices for her. So I witnessed the way she cooked, even when I didn't want to. I didn't want anything to do with the kitchen, but because I was a girl, I responded to that role. So I witnessed a lot of things that now I'm like, oh, that's the way my mom used to do it. Let
Yeah.
me let me do it that way. And then some of my products I added a twist. And then at one point, one of my sisters was taking cooking classes from a priest, Canadian priest, who retired in our hometown from
Mm,
Canada. And so that's when I learned from her how to make the cakes, how to make the fancy pastry, fancy drinks, fancy mixes, or decoration techniques, and all of that. And at one point, she was catering to people's parties. So my brain was sucking on all of this knowledge until I needed it for my own health.
mhm.
And that's how Creole Me Up started, from these memories. My first book was written based on these memories. I didn't want to interview anybody. I know I'm like, I really need to pull from my memory how that was like when I was a kid growing up. And all of my products right now too are inspired by my mother and my sister,
Mhm.
who was kind of a chef. She was a chef basically, but all of my products are inspired by these two women. Just observing them as a kid.
Yeah.
growing up.
And so you took this expertise that you had through your family experience, you took kind of the worst time in your life, and you created a concoction that people wanted to buy. So how
Yes.
did you decide to take it to market? Where did you first start selling it?
Well, okay. That. So I met Jaime Soltero, the owner of Tamale Boy restaurant.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
met him randomly in a parking lot. He was serving food from a very sophisticated Mercedes.
yeah.
And I'm looking at that van. I'm like, wow, I can see myself being in that van serving Haitian food. And because I'm so spontaneous. Plus, I have an accent. So I tell people, don't do what I do. I have an accent. I have a good excuse. So I walked up to him and I'm like, this is exactly my dream. He's like, selling food. I'm like, yeah, I would like to sell Haitian food. And
Yeah.
this guy was so spontaneous too. He gave me his card. He said, if you are serious about it, let's connect. I'll tell you everything you need to know. So he took me under his wings for 8 months. And I launched my first Haitian pop-up in his Tamale Boy restaurant on Warsaw.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah. So from there, people were asking for my pickles, the pickled vegetables. They were asking for my marinades because they were eating the sauces from the
Yeah.
marinades. And Jaime was about to launch his packaged goods. And he's
Mhm.
like, well, I don't think we can cohabit anymore because you're gonna make packaged goods and I'm gonna make packaged goods, so that's gonna be a conflict of interest. But Jaime Soltero taught me everything that I needed to know in the food industry. Plus, despite that I was broke, he never judged me, and I was using his kitchen for 8 months without paying.
That's very generous.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he will mentor me after each event, after each pop-up, looking at what we could improve. So he is my mentor and Creole Me Up's godfather, basically.
So he really wanted to help your business get off the ground.
Yes, yes, yes. And then I worked with the Food Innovation Center, Sarah Masoni, to bring my products to market the way they're supposed to be professionally instead of selling in a mason jar from Winco, Winco Foods.
Right, right. So one thing that I find really interesting about Portland, and I love this about Portland, is that people are interested in new food experiences. Like I talked to someone who had just moved here from somewhere else, and they said, "Oh my gosh, like I'll go to somebody's house and they'll have this amazing sauce, and I'll say, 'Where did you get it?' And they'll say, 'Oh, well, I just got it at this farmer's market, or my next door neighbor made it.'" And
Mm-hmm.
and they'll say, "Really? You're eating something your next door neighbor made?" And they're like, "Of course, it's good, you know?"
Mm-hmm.
And Portland has an attitude of we can make it ourselves. Like
Yeah.
we can create something. And I wonder if that attitude has nurtured you and has made it possible for you to thrive here.
What has worked for me though, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
First, that is a community that you can feed anything,
Hmm.
anything. People are willing to try anything at least for once.
Yeah.
So that openness kind of create a welcome environment for me to share my Haitian condiments and my Haitian creations
Yes.
because I know people will be willing to try anything I make.
Ah, that's
And
fantastic.
then yeah, they will give me ideas. They will be like, hey, did you know that you could pickle eggs in your pickles juice left over? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. And effectively I'll come here, pickle eggs and my pickles. I'm like, wow, that's a delicious egg salad with the pickles brine. But
Yeah.
if people were not so open at sharing and giving and trying things, I don't think I can replicate what Portland has done for me in another state that easily.
Right, right. And also, you you, along with people being willing to try things, people are also willing to fund you. You raised quite a bit of money on the crowdfunding platform Honeycomb, right?
Yes.
So tell me about how that happened and how that has helped your business.
Uh, well, when I first started my business, I was struggling a lot with low self-esteem, lack of confidence, depression,
Yeah,
and
must have been
like for a
difficult.
good, yeah, difficult. That mind thing, and that's the core of my speaking, basically speaking message that if your mind is not right, there are certain things you might not be able to reach because your mind needs to be in the right state in
Hmm.
order to be able to do things. So that's what happened to me in my crowdfunding. 2023, I wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
achieve my crowdfunding goals, and I'm still trying to raise more funds for the vision, Creole vision.
Mhm.
But in 2024, I was in a better place because since 2021, 2022, 2 years, I spent 2 years telling Elsy,
Yeah.
you are capable, you are beautiful, you have an accent, everybody loves you. People who don't love you, well, shame on them. And basically, I have a list. My affirmation list, it's very funny. It can crack anybody up. Maybe I'll publish a book about it later on. But I keep telling myself that for 2 years. You are
Mhm.
beautiful, you are smart, you are amazing. People who don't love you, well, they are lost, shame on them. And then you're going to be doing great things in life. I kept telling myself that for 2 years. And then finally in 2024, I got the courage to say, I need some money. I am going to go after some money in this town. And that's what I did. Without
Yeah.
having the rich uncle, without having the rich aunt. I'm still looking for them though. If you find a rich uncle with
So,
a rich
so
aunt.
if I find your rich uncle, I should let you know, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
However, you raised, if I can ask, how much? Like,
It's close to $140,000.
fantastic. So, what did you
Yes.
do with that money?
What did I do with that money? It's a lot. There is a lot of in and outs that is happening.
Yeah, but you put it into
Um,
your business.
I'm sorry.
You put the money into your business. And
Yeah. I mean, everything goes into the business. Some of my customers they were not comfortable with investing with Honeycomb,
yeah,
so yeah, so they invested on the side. And then after two of them invested on the side, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Elsie, that's a lot of debt you're taking on. Um, so I stopped. A few people were still coming up to me in the background to invest, and I'm like, oh, I mean, I'm one person. Plus, I needed to correct my relationship with money.
yeah.
I Because I spent so many years broke and struggling, I
Mhm.
identify myself more with being broke
Yeah, yeah.
than being successful. Anytime I've been money in the bank, I've been like shaking. I remember when I saw that first deposit from Honeycomb, I basically I shook. I was like shaking. I was like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. I've never seen that much money in in
It's
one
incredible
account.
that people were willing to invest in you as a founder, and I hear that over and over from startup founders. The people who are supporting you, whether that's venture capitalists or private equity or crowdfunding or even your customers, they need to believe in you first before they even believe in the product. They need to believe that you are the person that they care about, right? So you
Yes.
want to
And I
be,
think there was a lot of this going on during the crowdfunding. And then I made it fun. The
yeah,
process was stressful, but I made it fun. I was shaking my bum bum every day in a video, updating people on the amount that
yeah.
we are at right now. I was being clear. I was harassing people in the street to invest. I was harassing people at Winco, at Fred Meyers to invest. So when you are genuine, like it, honest with people and open, I'm like, I cannot do this by myself because I was working 12, 14 hours shift in the kitchen. And when I come to my house, my back hurt, my feet hurt. And the following day, waking up, I'm like, there is no way I am not going to fall on my forehead
Mhm.
working so intensely in 1 week and keep the business sustainable. So that
Right.
was the message out there, and people really resonated with that and invested. I mean, most of my big donors, I don't even know who they are.
Wow, that's really fantastic. So,
Yeah.
the other thing I want to highlight too is that alongside your work in launching this business, in crowdfunding, in selling product every day, and working those 12 to 14-hour days, you also got your master's degree in business, right? Your MBA. So, when did you get your MBA? And
I got my MBA in 2022, and
uh-huh,
I look back and I'm like, how did I do that? Uh,
crazy.
but also, I am a goal driven person. If I commit to something, I am telling you, I don't know. The type of entrepreneur I am. If I'm limping, if I have to limp to get it, I am going to get it.
So,
So
so
I was,
you're going to make it happen regardless of any
yes, I make it
obstacle.
happen. I make it happen.
Wow.
And now we are contemplating a doctorate, so we'll see.
Oh, wow. What would your doctorate be in?
My doctorate will hone on my life's mission on a bigger scale.
Uh-huh.
It will be into coaching women coming from a traumatic background,
Uh-huh.
like young girls who've been abused, women who've been to jail, women who've been abused by a partner, uh, help them rewire their brain and their mindset so that they don't identify with the situation, because the situation, that's what happened to them,
Uh-huh.
and keep their essence as an individual intact from that situation. So the master will be about mental health,
Mm-hmm.
but my dissertation will be on women coming out of a traumatic situation. So I think
Wow.
that will be my old lady late in life, when I have enough money in the bank and I have the garçon carrying my bags.
Well, I'll keep it in mind. That's really something. So,
Yeah.
but back to your business for a second. So you have these marinades, you have all of these different sauces that can help people to add Haitian spice to their lives. You also have written two books about cooking in a Haitian style. Um, where can I get your products? If I'm someone listening to this podcast and I want to buy something from Creole Me Up, where do I go?
Well, that's the whole reshaping that we are doing this year.
Okay.
My products are fresh, and I take a lot of pride. With all humility,
Mm-hmm.
I take a lot of pride in uh, producing clean foods.
Mm.
So after I raised the money, I had to look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, do I need to mass produce my products and become rich? Or do I maintain the quality of my products and feed a niche of people that value what I value? And I decided to go with continue to building a niche. So my products don't do well at grocery stores. I think it is due partly to brand awareness. If
Mm-hmm.
somebody doesn't come to the farmers markets, you might not know about me, you might not know about my company and what I do. And when you see my jars in the store on the shelf, they don't say anything to you because you don't know me or you
Right.
don't know about Creole Me Up. So what we've decided to do for this year is to create a schedule where we open our kitchen so people can come and purchase at the kitchen besides the farmers markets. And then we've hired a business strategist. So instead of me as one person who is thinking about producing for farmers markets only, I have a strategist in the background thinking, strategizing on how we can build a brand that is solid in Portland or known. The brand is solid, but known by more people. So people will be able to come to the kitchen in farmers markets, and then we'll be having a meeting with new seasons so they can take another look in our catalog to see what is it that they can sell on their shelves, but it's still going to be small scales. And then
Mhm.
we have Olympia reaching out to us. We have a bunch of stores in Seattle reaching out to us because they don't have that authentic, fresh Haitian products. So, but for now in Portland, it's like very sporadic where people can go to find a few of our products. But
Mhm.
we'll be opening our kitchens for 2 days so people can come shop, can come shop at the kitchen,
Yeah.
and we're starting in March. For now, it's farmers markets or a few sporadic neighborhood stores.
Okay, so it's very niche right now. Like if I'm in Chicago or I'm
Mhm.
in, even down in Ashland, Oregon, I can't get your products directly without coming to Portland or without
But
coming.
I ship. I do ship to people.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, I do ship to people. But at the same time, the website, we are trying to keep it updated, very active. Or we are going to try to, because we cannot have all the products all the time on the website because we don't have everything all the time. We
Mhm.
are thinking to do
Yeah,
uh, a membership where we can ship a box every month or a box every 3 months to people depending on what they want, and make that same box available to anybody who say, hey, I would like to have a box to try. And because the products are perishable, I don't want to be mailing one beet spread, for example, because we do spreads, vegetable spreads. I don't
yeah.
want to be putting ice pack and insulation for one little beet spread. So, I mean, I could, but will it make sense to somebody to be paying $20 for a $14 jar of beet spread? So
Right, right.
that's yeah. So we decided the box will be more efficient for us as a company, and for our sales also. And you
Mhm.
asked a question about how did we use the money. There was a car that I was driving because of bad credit. I was paying 22% interest on it, so we were able to pay that off from that money.
Mhm.
And now it's such a big weight off of my back. I was paying the car for 2 years. I probably paid $2,000 of the capital during the 2 years. It was all my money was going to interest. And
Mm.
then we were able to hire a CFO to work out a projection for the next few years. And I'm telling you, money that I'm looking on paper, I'm like, what? You know, from this little dream to be talking about this large chunk of money. So we were able to do that. And then we are hiring key people, production people, to be able to carry the production because it was really too much on me.
Right, so you're scaling your business. You're able to make it bigger,
Yes.
bigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, as you continue to scale, will you be hiring additional people to build this out?
Yes, I mean, I would like to have a sales team. Right now, until I dance with the kids at farmers markets to
Yeah.
advertise and impress their moms, it's kind of very heavy for me to come from the kitchen and sit down and figure out how to do who I'm gonna talk to next about selling. So I would like to have at least two people focusing on the sales. That's why we are looking into ways to raise more money, to
Mhm.
hire more people. And then a marketing person. We hired a marketing person, but she's gonna be able to do the minimum with with the budget that we set aside for that. So I would like to have at least a couple of people doing that. There is a lot of room to grow because Elsy is weird enough to stand in the space and say, I'm going to share about Haitian condiments and sauces.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think for the opportunities that I have out there, I'm not even tapping into 15% of what's available for Creole Me Up out there.
Hmm.
Mhm. And I'm hoping to be able to do that in the next 2 years to increase our reach. Yeah. I mean, it's been a very interesting journey because some days when I wake up and I'm like, oh, I wish I could wake up at 11, not at 5 in the morning. Um, to tell you the truth, the my customer support keep me going. My customers inputs keep me going. When somebody reach out to a customer reaches out of nowhere saying, "I'm thinking of you. How are you doing today?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh." It is as if to see that people care about
Yeah.
me as an individual besides the food, it's very inspiring and very encouraging to me. So I have a community to care for, and I don't take this lightly. I don't take it
Mm.
lightly. And right now I'm stepping into coaching because I've seen a lot of fiascos with other vendors' businesses at the farmers markets. And I have two seminars that I'm working on how to work your farmers markets both successfully because Creole was generating six figures at farmers markets before being in the stores.
Hmm.
So people need to be able to see somebody who's done it with the bare minimum. No family, no mother, no father, no rich uncle, no
Yeah.
rich aunt, no sugar daddy.
Fantastic. Well, we always have one final question that we close with. So as you continue to grow Creel Me Up, what do you dare to dream?
What do I dare to dream? I mean, like I mentioned before, is to be able to not only feed people's body,
Uh-huh.
I want to feed people's souls and minds also.
Powerful. You want to feed people's souls and minds.
Yes.
Wow.
Besides feeding their body with good foods and flavorful food. Yeah.
You so much. That is such a great vision. And
Yes.
we at the Oregon Entrepreneurs Network and at Darwaft wish you all the best with your journey.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks to our guests today for their insights into the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We wish you all the best in your startup journey. The Dare Show is brought to you by the Oregon Entrepreneurs Network and by Darwaft, the superpower tech team that can make your vision a reality. Visit us at oen.org or at darwaft.io. Thanks again for listening. Till next time.